In the United States, there are a handful of questions you'll hear in almost any interview. Ça dépend du travail, mais il y a plusieurs questions qu'on entend dans les entretiens de plusieurs secteurs. Today, I have for you common questions and my approach to answering, best practices and tips, and a conversations practice at the end. Be sure to stay tuned for resources that I'll share for resume building that you can find in the description box below. On y va. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. In any interview in the US, you will always hear this question or prompt, if you will. Therefore, be prepared to share context and background regarding your journey. Parle un peu de toi. Donnez le scoop. Be careful to subtly relate your background to the position of interest as much as possible. Subtle is a good word here and means a delicate or indirect approach. You do not want to speak too directly about the position of which you're applying and why you are a good fit for it. Not here, not yet. Il faut pas encore parler trop directement à propos du poste que tu as postulé. But instead, you want to just be mindful to paint a picture that allows them to easily draw that bridge themselves. Remember, this is just an introduction to you, and the interviewer genuinely wants to learn about you. Ils ont intérêt à connaître votre histoire, votre expérience et vos passions. Let me share a snippet of my version of a response to this question. First, if you have not already, subscribe to my channel if you're a French speaker of any level looking to finally perfect your English skills. Si vous apprenez l'anglais à n'importe quel niveau, abonnez-moi pour plusieurs leçons à plusieurs niveaux. I like to begin the question or prompt, tell me about yourself, like so. At the foundation, my passions are people and culture. I love genuinely learning about people's backgrounds. I am originally from Sacramento, California, and did my undergraduate studies at such and such university. After graduating, I was led to Paris, France, where I fortified my communication skills even more while working with the French Ministry of Education. You can fill in the underlined words with information pertaining to you. Pause the video and try it out. Practice out loud. Also, a tip here, include a short and quick fun fact about yourself, something to break the ice and make them smile. For example, I also love to dance, so I'm always playing music around my house. Number 2, what are your greatest strengths? What are your greatest strengths? This would be a good place to reference key words you remember from the actual job post. They are looking for you to match your strengths with the strengths that are needed for the position. Also, give a reason as to why your chosen answers are your strengths. You do not want to be long winded in these anecdotes, but providing a bit of context could be helpful. Communiquer tes meilleures compétences et donner une petite raison pourquoi ce sont tes compétences fortes. An example, a prominent strength that I have is teamwork because I love working with people and I have worked on many teams in my experience. If you feel this is true for yourself, try saying it aloud. Note, the strengths that you talk about should be listed in your resume. Pense surtout à ton CV. In general, you want to mirror your resume. Have your resume inform your responses and use the interview to give it more context and background. If you are someone who struggles with writing resumes and cover letters or can't seem to truly articulate your experience, you must check out my website linked below. I offer unique resume and cover letter templates and even offer custom resume and cover letter writing services. That's right, that means I write your resume for you. See the description box below for details and take your resume one step further today so that it stands out tomorrow. Number 3. What do you consider to be your weaknesses? My advice for this question is to cheat. Trichez un peu. Give a weakness that is not really a weakness, but something admirable. For example, I ask quite a bit of questions as I like to ensure I fully understand the project. Or, I am a very meticulous person, which means at times that affects my efficiency, but it is because I'm very organized and want to make sure assignments are done correctly. You can also give a weakness that you are actively working on and let them know already the improvements that you have made in this area. Donnez l'impression que tu es au courant de ses fautes et que tu travailles pour s'améliorer. Also, let the job post inform this response as well. You do not want to name a weakness that is the opposite of a strength that is listed as needed for the job. That would not be a good idea. Number 4, describe a point in your experience where. Dans tous les entretiens que j'avais faits, on arrive toujours à cette question. In all of the interviews I have done, they always ask a question that prompts a real life scenario, situation, or accomplishment that I've done. Story time. My advice is that in preparation for your interview, think of actual individual experiences and success stories and come prepared to share them on the fly. Some topics to prepare can be a time you had to demonstrate leadership, a time you had to deal with an unpleasant customer, a time you did not see eye to eye with your manager. In all of these experiences, you want to highlight yourself in the best light without diminishing the character or down talking anyone else in your story. Okay? Soyez respectueux dans ta histoire. There is a way to tell a story about an experience that is respectful to all persons involved. And number 5, what kind of environment do you work best in? What kind of environment do you work best in? My advice here is to use colorful adjectives like vibrant and communicative and warm. They want to know you are a team player and that your collaboration skills are sharp, welcoming, and a priority to you. If the company has specific values that they hold highly, use some of these as your answers. For example, I want to work in an environment that values diversity, or I want to work in an environment that values trust. Now, let me share a few best practices and tips. First, rename the resume file you submit clearly and appropriately. It shows you are organized. Include your first and last name, the word resume, and even the name of the particular position. Another tip, fais ta recherche. Fais ta recherche. Research the company and position well before the interview. They will surely be curious how much you know of them during the interview. They may even ask directly, why do you want to work for them? And this would be where you use that information. If you have the names and profiles of these specific people who will be interviewing you, read a little about them and look a little into their background. This will help. I think by now we should know about punctuality. So, number 3, arriver à l'heure. Non, enfin, arriver tôt, en fait. Be early. Tip number 4, look directly at the interviewers when speaking and show positive body language. Not slouching or sitting, instead, you want to sit up tall. Stuff like that. Use your hands a little bit, but not too much. Be professional, but also show that you have personality as well. Smile with them. Be friendly. Another tip, be ready to ask them questions. I did not list this and the above common questions asked because I didn't want to make this video too long. However, it is surely always the last question of any interview. What questions do you have for us? Okay, do not say that you do not have any questions. Prepare some. And in your response, don't be afraid to get slightly personal if you are interested in the interviewer's background in particular. Being genuine is always best. And a last tip that I have for you, email a thank you note after every interview. I personally love doing this, and the interviewers I've encountered are genuinely very appreciative of receiving it as well. Okay, lastly, I have a short conversations exercise for you. If you'd made it this far, bravo. If you're still watching, then be sure to hit the like button and also engage in the comments. I want to know, is this helpful so far? How do you like this video? So, for the short exercise, I will list some scrambled words below. Try forming the correct sentence in proper word order through using the following words. Also, can you guess what question I asked? Après, répétez à l'oral la question et la phrase pour bien pratiquer. Yes, the question was, what are your greatest strengths? What are your greatest strengths? And the sentence was, I am an effective communicator in both written and verbal communication. Now, repeat the sentence. Very well. Okay, let's do one more. Great job. The question was, what kind of environment do you work best in? What kind of environment do you work best in? And the sentence was, I truly enjoy working on collaborative teams. This is where I thrive. And if you got that correct word order, great job. Go ahead and repeat the sentence. Challenge an English learning friend and practice some of these interview questions together. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below how it went. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.